Hello, and welcome to the podcast that knows, despite the push notifications we get all day telling us that the world is burning down around us, there is still good being created in the world, and we want to highlight it. Whether it's nonprofit leaders solving the world's biggest problems or a small business owner trying to make the world better with a great product or service, we want to highlight the ideas and strategies behind the good that's being made. So without further ado, you're listening to Creating Good, a podcast by Rogue Creatives hosted by me, Matt Barnes. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Creating Good with Matt Barnes. I'm Matt Barnes. So today we've got a great show for you. A good friend of mine who is just one of my favorite people, Shamara Noriega, is here. Before we get to that, I want to encourage you to go to creatinggood.co, our website, and take the Creating Good pledge. It's a simple pledge to just say, I am going to, you can take it for yourself, for your business. I'm going to be intentional about creating good in the world. That's it. I mean, that really what it boils down to. There's some values there that are very simple, and it's easy. Go do that. You get a little badge you can put on your website, on your social media, wherever you want to put that, to tell people that you're committed to creating good. You're part of this movement for creating good. That's it. We're not, the funny thing is people think like, oh, what do you, so when are you going to ask for donations? We're not looking to raise money. We're not looking to ask for donations or anything like that. We really are just using what we have to inspire people, to push people to, in this time when things just suck in so many ways in the world, we can make it better. And I really believe that. And I am a sarcastic person who finds sincerity sometimes difficult, but in this, I can be very sincere. This is we can do this. We can actually make the world better. So today, I'm interviewing a guest, Shamara Noriega. She was the founder of Kingdom Kismet. Shamara is, like I said, one of my favorite people. I met her at an event about a year and a half ago. We'll talk a little bit about that. But she is a connector of people, and she sees potential in people and sees the ability for people to create good, and sees the opportunities to bring people together to create even more good. And so we're going to hear a little bit about her story. This was a really fun interview because we're friends. And so, we get to have a little bit of fun catching up, but also diving into some areas that we've never talked about before. So very excited to share this with you. All right. I'm here with my friend, Shamara Noriega. Hi, Shamara.
Hi, Matt. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for doing this. You had to drive up here and everything, but yeah, it's good to see you.
It was a breeze, and any excuse to be here in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
And to see you and the team and everybody. Of course, the beach, but
the beach. It's more the beach. Let's be honest. The beach is the sell. I'm just a bonus.
The biggest bonus.
So we'll get to our background and all that in a minute. We always start with a segment called 3 Random Questions. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Rapid fire.
Here we go. What is your favorite comfort food?
Oh, this is a good question.
Yes.
And I wasn't prepared for this. What is my favorite comfort food? Curry chicken.
Curry chicken,
yeah.
Not grilled cheese.
Not grilled cheese, surprisingly.
I said right before we started, before I hit record, I said, I'm going to grill you. And she said, I'm ready like a cheese sandwich.
I guess that could be my comfort food if you throw tomato soup on the side.
I make a good grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Sourdough, you put some Parmesan on the outside.
Ooh,
oh, yeah.
You're fancy.
Mm-hmm. You got to do it right.
Yeah. I'm taking tips now. I might have a grilled cheese for dinner.
Although I made it for my kids last week, and they were like, no.
We're not impressed.
They were not impressed. And it's the first time somebody's been like not impressed with my grilled cheese. And they're kids. They want it simple. So they're like, what is all this? I don't know. I mean, it's not crazy, but it's definitely was a little, I'm like, okay, I got to do a simpler grilled cheese for them.
I feel like kids will definitely humble you.
Oh yeah. All day, every day. Yep. That is the definition of parenthood. Humility. Just constant humility.
Yeah. I'm going to wait.
Yeah. Gonna hold off on that one for a bit. Yeah, it's constant humility. It's constantly being reminded that you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's parenthood.
I think
summed up.
that's life for me.
Well, yeah, that it is, honestly. You know, it's funny. I was just, I think it was when I was interviewing somebody on the podcast last week and talking about, like, when it comes down to it, the principles of parenthood or leadership in a business or just personal life and friends or whatever, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's adapted, but it's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So next question. You ready?
I'm ready.
One music artist for the rest of your life. Who's it going to be?
Oh, that is so tough, but I didn't even think about it right now. My head just said J. Cole.
Okay. All right. There you go. That's quick.
Yeah.
And sticking on the music theme, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Ooh, okay. So I'm not saying I can sing this song well.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's
you don't,
karaoke, right?
You enjoy getting up, and whether you're making a fool out of yourself or you're actually putting on a performance, it doesn't matter. You're just, this is your happy space when karaoke happens.
I struggle to pick a karaoke song no matter what, but if I won't say a song because they don't typically always have all of her music. But I will always go for Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey? Wow.
Yeah. I said I didn't have to sing.
Ballsy.
I didn't have to know how to sing.
That's amazing.
No,
okay.
but if everybody is willing to listen.
Do you try to get people to sing along with you, or is it like, no, this is my moment?
They have to drown out my voice.
Okay, there you go.
It's encouraging. It's the only way to drown it out.
There you go. All right. You have passed 3 random questions. Nobody's not ever passed it. I've always, but I always act like.
What's your best answer that you've gotten?
For that?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I remember. I can see faces of people and names of people who gave me good answers. I don't remember what their answers were, though.
Yeah.
I'm always, it's more when that question comes up. It's come up a few times. I'm always surprised at who says, oh, no, I don't do karaoke.
Oh, really?
And it's usually people who I'm like, oh, I would have thought you would have enjoyed that. Like, they have that outgoing vibe about them that I thought they'd be fun on stage. And you know what? Here's what I think, because I believe in my gut. I believe.
And I believe in you.
I believe in my gut. My gut feelings, my gut intuition, not my actual gut. That's something, a different thing. But I believe that person would be good on stage and just needs to overcome that fear. They've got that thing. But I'm like, no, you could do it. You could perform. You can sense it in people.
Yeah. And speaking about that, do you feel like, I feel like for certain people, we're positioned in their life to kind of nudge them towards their calling.
Yes.
So you might.
I don't know if karaoke is anyone's calling.
Well, not a calling, but it might be. It might lead them to a part of them that needs to be discovered to enter their calling. Like maybe it's using their voice.
Just took it deep.
Yeah.
You just took it deep. We didn't even get out of 3 random questions, and you're already taking it deep.
I can't help it.
Dang.
I'm sorry. But yeah, it might be an entry point.
No, you're right. You might be right about that. Okay. So, Shamara, you and I met randomly, right, at an ocean networking event that was here at Road Collective like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Kismet.
Yes. And we were instantly like, oh, we need to know each other.
Yeah.
You're in those big events. There's like 150 people here. And, you just, when you meet somebody that you're like, oh, we're on the same wavelength, you just kind of have that. And we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
And done some work together and different things. Give the listeners and me your sort of origin story, your journey. Like, where have you come from and what are you about? It's just a small question.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You just...
Just tell me everything about you. Go.
I'm like, was I just silenced? Because I was going to go big. I was going to tell you
big.
to death.
Go big.
Thank you for that introduction. We did meet here at an Ocean networking event. And I think at that time I was working in finance. And then I also had
That's right.
Yeah. And I also had my personal business, Kingdom Kismet,
right,
which kind of ties into how we met. For those of you guys that do not know, Kismet means fate or destiny. And personally, for me, I believe everybody that you meet is for a reason, season, or lifetime. There's something that we can all learn or teach each other, but it's our personal responsibility to figure out what that is to contribute to societal growth as a whole. And so I I remember talking to Matt, and I told you, "Oh, I work in finance," and you're like, "No, no, 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 no."
Right. Kind of like the karaoke thing, right? Like, I'm like, no, 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 that's not what you do. That may be what you're doing for a job, but that's not what you
You're
do.
like, "No, no, 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 no." And
That confused me so much.
yeah, and as fate and destiny has it, we have developed a friendship that started from me just expressing my passion for Kingdom Kismet, which was networking, bringing people together, and sharing our wisdom to contribute to growth as a whole. And since then, I've shed finance per your nudge.
Well done. Well done. I know one of these buttons on here will make like an applause. Nope, that's not it. Oh, that puts it. Ooh, that puts a fun thing on my. Anyway, one of them does like a cheering and where is it? There we go. There you go. You gave up finance. Good job.
I gave up finance. Everybody was waiting.
I haven't done sound effects in a while. I gotta get back to this. This is fun.
I gave up finance. I went into Kingdom Kismet, but then I realized, I forgot who said it. I know that there's some beautiful philosopher that said it that somebody can fact check me on or quote, but they mentioned that things that you love or things that you dedicate yourself to or that is a passion, like Kingdom Kismet is for me, should be as consistent and as oftenly expressed in your life as your breath. So how much you breathe, you should, and that's what Kingdom Kismet was for me.
Yeah. I think I said that, by the way. I think it might have been me.
I think it was
I'm going to
you.
go ahead and give myself credit for that one.
I just was
No, I
trying to
didn't
keep
say
you
that.
humble. I'm one of the kids.
I told my team recently that I coined the phrase, teamwork is the dream work. They did not believe me.
Because I did.
This is why we get along.
And Magnificent Monday, all of
There you go.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
things.
All of the things. It should be as often and as consistent as your breath. And that's what Kingdom Kismet was for me. I realized that it wasn't necessarily a business that I was trying to monetize from, but it was a way of being. I like connecting people. I like looking for different ways that I can support you. And the way that I do that is learning who you are and different ways that I might be able to nudge you or encourage you to go for the things that you actually believe in and speak to your heart. That's not something that you can, I mean, you can, it just isn't genuine that you can pay me $5,000 and then all of a sudden, you're listening to your heart. It is. I'm listening to my heart.
Pay me $5,000 and you will learn to listen to your heart. Call 1-800-SHAMARA today.
Bing, 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 bing. And I just realized that I wanted it to be a part of me and who I am and not a business.
Yeah.
And so I decided to integrate Kingdom Kismet as a part of my values and philosophy for the way that I live and encourage others to do the same.
Yeah.
So looking for ways to contribute to others' growth, whether that's sharing wisdom, giving back, or just living life authentically. Because I feel like whenever you just let go and let flow, things happen naturally and organically where it's not forced and you're being supportive even if you realize it or you don't in somebody else's life. Smile can go a long way, kind words, things along those lines. I got off track.
No, you're good. I'm wondering how you got to that place. Like, is that a belief, an understanding that you've always had, or like what's been your journey? I know this is, you've had different careers, you've done different things. What have some of those been, and what have you learned, and how did you get to this place where you've kind of had this freedom to say, I just want to be about this?
Oh, that's a good question. And that's a loaded question. I could keep going. Like, where do you want me to start? I'm going to hone in and then probably bring it backwards. So honing in with Kingdom Kismet, the way that I got to that is I was doing this already.
Yeah.
I was supporting, but I was being met with a lot of friction in my pursuit because I was trying to, like I said, make money off of the things that I was doing naturally. And so there's that internal struggle where it's just like, oh, I want to help, but also here's an invoice.
Right.
And
right.
then and then and that's not something that I mind doing. I don't mind sending an invoice at all.
Yeah.
But it's something that I wanted to do to give back. And that's where the internal struggle was. And then I also realized that when I was connecting people, I worked really hard to build those connections to the people that I got to know and the businesses that I was able to promote or connect. And the people that I was connecting to them in support of them, they didn't build them. And so they didn't value those connections the way that I did. And so when I was introducing and connecting people, I realized that I was burning bridges along the way because I was introducing people to people that I valued highly that had no value for them at all because they didn't realize that it was something that I was doing from a heart-centered space that I actually really worked hard to develop.
Yeah.
Because it was given to them,
Yeah.
freely. When something's given freely, you kind of don't, and it's not their fault, but you don't have a second thought about, oh, what did this person have to go through to even be able to develop a connection of this capacity?
Right.
To be able to extend it to me.
Well, I've definitely experienced. I mean, I used to, not to toot my own horn, I used to volunteer a lot. Like to not just, I would volunteer and end up like running things, in places. And in my mind, I'm going, oh, I'm showing these people my value, what I could contribute to this organization, and then, but then like a job would open up there or something, an opportunity, and they would overlook me.
Yeah.
And I started to realize in that there's this weird balance of in their mind, it was like, well, and I don't think this was a conscious thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like they're evil people. They're out there like,
No.
but I think in their mind, subconsciously, it's like, well, why would we suddenly pay you when you're already doing all this for free for us? Let's pay somebody else and we'll still have you. And that happened a number of times. And finally, I'm like, I need to protect myself a little bit. I need to figure out that balancing act of like, how do I create good and contribute, but also not, kind of have that value, let people see the value that I have, because it started to really wear on me and my own worth in that.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. And that's what I was learning through Kingdom Kismet is that I had to value it more. And I had to value the people that were connected to it more. And I had to be a little bit more meticulous in how I navigate around it, because businesses, or even like if I'm changing this into a philosophy, those are my babies. Like, I want to protect the people that protect me, that look out for me. And I want to make sure that the people that are in my inner circle are valued as well.
For sure.
I don't want to introduce them to the people that are going to say, hey, look, he's willing to do it for free. And so let's not pay him.
Well, it's interesting because I think that introduction is, and how that happens can be so much of that. The way I even introduced myself in those situations is sometimes set me up for that failure down the road.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, I'm just here to help. I'm just, and trying to have sort of a humility, but it ends up being like a devaluing of myself. And the same thing when you introduce other people, you can just be like, oh, there's this guy, you should know him, get to, or whatever, like he can probably help you out.
You're blocking your blessing.
Versus this person is amazing.
Yeah.
They are worth any penny that you would spend on them. You need them in your life. Like, that's going to set a different mindset for that person that's meeting them, right?
Yeah.
So even the way that you network and introduce people, introduce yourself, it's really like that has been a huge learning journey for me.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's like, I want to be about creating good in whatever I'm doing. And I was the biggest thing getting in my own way of doing that.
Yeah. And the same for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
mean,
that
I
there's
think
a
that's-
learning curve. And I think it's also a learning curve in entrepreneurship and life
Yeah.
in general. And kudos to you. Kudos. Where's the button?
Yay me.
For being able to acknowledge and see that, because it takes a level of self-awareness, right? To be able to say, hey, I'm not valuing myself the way that I should. And to also be able to acknowledge that I'm being humble in a way that doesn't benefit me. I'm the
Right.
only person that's, sacrificing from this. And that's something that's my family's from the Caribbean. They're from Trinidad. And one thing that is always pushed is be humble.
Yes.
I just talked to my dad and he was like, just stay humble, mama, like just stay humble.
But that's the thing. Like, I grew up in the church, and that was very much that same thing. And I think coming from a good place, like, humility is a good thing, but also, how do you balance humility with confidence and knowing who you are and believing in yourself without being arrogant? Because arrogance is not the same thing as confidence. Those are two different things, and I think we conflate those a lot of times to where it's like, well, if I'm confident, I'm arrogant. And that's how I felt for a long time. And to shed a little bit of the credit on being self-aware, it was more, if I was gonna pat myself on the back for anything, it would be more listening to the people who in my life were speaking truth to me and saying, you're devaluing yourself. You're setting yourself up for failure. It wasn't me really. I mean, I kept hitting that wall and like, why don't people see this? Or I don't understand this or whatever. And it was like my girlfriend, who's now my wife, or other people in my life. And sometimes even people who barely knew me. I had one guy randomly who I worked with but he worked in a different department and I didn't really know him very well, but he kind of seen from afar and he like, hey, can I talk to you? And pulled me aside and he's like, dude, they're taking advantage of you here.
Yeah.
And it's because you keep letting them.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
that's
I was
so
like,
big.
oh, that's the outside perspective on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that hit hard because it's not somebody even who really knows me.
Yeah,
it was somebody who from a distance was seeing it and going like, ew, that's ugly.
Yeah.
And it was a huge wake-up call for me.
Yeah.
Huge wake-up call for me. And so I like tying it all back in, I guess. I keep that on mind, obviously, for myself. That has shaped so much of my journey over the last 10 years because that's about when this kind of happened. Right before I got married, right before I started Rogue and all the things that I'm doing now. A lot of that was the impetus for that. It was like, oh, I need to go and believe in myself and do the things that I feel like called to do. But it's shaped the way that I see other people, the way I introduce other people, the way I position other people. Like I want to make sure I'm not doing to them what others did to me. And I want to set them up for the best possible, like I said, I don't think these were people who were bad people that were like evil or scheming or anything like that, but that subconsciously, that's the way I want to be aware of that so that I don't end up in that subconscious trap of taking advantage of people or treating them poorly. I want to treat people well, and I want them to I want to be a part of them finding their best selves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that they can be creating the most good. Because I think the best way to create good in the world is to be the best version of you.
And I think that what you said speaks to that, because what you're describing is, I know that none of the people, and you reiterated this a few times, is that none of them were bad, right?
Right.
But if you really think about it, and I don't want to give them credit in a light where people think that I should go and be bad to people or I'm justified in the bad things that I do.
Sure.
That is not what I'm saying, people.
No.
But what I am saying is that they did lead you to yourself and an understanding of yourself.
Yeah.
And that is something that these experiences have taught me along the way, is no matter what, people are either going to teach me about my boundaries, where I either need to strengthen them or loosen them.
Yeah.
My standards, my values, and what's important to me.
Yes.
I feel like everybody I've ever interacted with in life had led me to a better understanding of myself in those ways. Yeah. Just through, like what you mentioned before, just being. Yeah. And self-worth, I wanted to ask you, because I feel like everybody has that pivotal moment where it clicks for them, right? But nobody truly talks about what happens? Once that click happens, you still have to take action to make changes. How did you know what to do?
Well,
And what did you do?
First of all, I ask the questions around here. Okay, so just chill out. All right, that you're trying to turn things around on me. I'm the interviewer. You're the interviewee.
We're gonna go into my career after this.
And second of all, how dare you? No, you know what? I don't think I knew exactly what to do. I just knew. I didn't know the specifics. I didn't know the what, but I knew it clarified my why more than ever before. And so when the right things came along, I just opened my eyes and suddenly I'm like, oh, there's a door I can walk through.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had the confidence, the courage, the whatever to walk through that before. And that's how it's been ever since. And every time I just keep walking through these doors and going like, oh, there's an opportunity that feels like feels right for me. It uses the things in me that that are core to who I am and what I'm learning about myself. And so there are things that in the last year I've started doing that even in this journey 6 or 7 years ago I probably wouldn't have done because I hadn't learned that about me yet of like, oh, I can do that thing.
Yeah.
Or I can be used in that way. And so I don't know. That's why I'm kind of allergic to like 5-year plans and things like that, because like the best things in the world for me are the unexpected ones.
They happen.
Like I would never, ever be anywhere near what I'm doing today in any way, shape or form had I said, this is my 5 or 10-year plan and I'm going to stick to it. Like I have a general idea of where I'm going but it's more about the why than the what. Yeah. So like, as long as I know what my values are, what's important to me, and what I enjoy, life's short. Like we set these values for our house that now are the same values, these were like our house rules, and now they're the values for creating good, which are just simple things like, well, simple sounding, but like show love, be kind, stay curious, which that I think is so key to all the things we're talking about. It's curious about other people, curious about yourself, curious about the world, like always learning, always growing, and keep your cool, like have your feelings, but also like own them and don't take them out on other people. And if you do all that, you can really have fun.
Yeah.
And you only get one life, so we might as well enjoy it and have fun. So I'm always looking for like, okay, if I'm doing that, if I'm showing love and being kind, and I'm staying curious about things, and I'm keeping my head on straight, like what are the things where I can do those things and it's going to be fun. Like I'm going to have a good time. And that doesn't mean, obviously some days are stressful and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, in general, I have a blast doing the things that I do because I love doing them. And this is a really, really long answer to your question that you asked 15 minutes ago.
No, I love it. I love it. I was just thinking you're going to be so mad at me right now.
Oh, no.
Because I'm going to make an observation.
Do it.
I'm not sure if you could throw this back at me.
I will.
Hey, bada. Based off of what you're saying, I know that one of the things that you said, you feel like you have accomplished throughout, this experience is your confidence. But one thing that I did notice as well, by the way that you were speaking about being able to walk through the doors and knowing what door to walk through, is you trust yourself more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because look at, I was just telling my kids this the other night. I was telling the boys, like McCoy and Wells, what are the first 2 rules in our house? Show love, be kind.
Yeah.
Right? I said, it is so much easier. Well, I go, you want to know a secret? They're like, what? I go, it is way easier to show love and be kind to other people if you do it to yourself first.
I love that.
And they were like, oh. I'm like, you need to, because we were sitting there and they had a bit of a dust up, a lot of emotions, they're kids, big feelings, a lot of stuff going on. And they're tired. It's summer. They're doing baseball camp. It's new. It's overwhelming. They're meeting new people, and then they came home and they're going swimming. And they're just exhausted. So they have this blow up and whatever, and then they feel bad about it. My kids, I love them so much. Because part of why is, I mean, they're my kids. I love them, but. Here's why they've earned my love.
I'm like, slow down.
But one of the things that I love most about them, I should say, is they own all of it. They really do. Like they will have a blow up or whatever, and then immediately like I feel terrible, and sometimes too far. We're like, I'm a bad person. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that to my brother or to you. I mean, Wells basically told me that he wanted me to die.
Oh my God.
But immediately like, oh, I'm so sorry, Dad. Oh my gosh. Like, and I'm like, that's why I was like, yes, you need to show love and be kind to me, and you need to do that to your brother and your brother to you. And they're saying, like, but it's so much easier to do that when you can do that to yourself first. If you can love and accept yourself, then you can also be curious about other people, about yourself. And that's where you get that confidence, because you start learning more. When you learn more about yourself, your world, how things work, what other people, whatever, you get that confidence because now you have knowledge.
Yeah.
And it's not just like a thought or a feeling or just a guess. It's you've tried things, you've experimented, you've failed.
You're open.
Learned from that.
Yeah.
And that curiosity instead of judgmentalism on yourself, on others, man, I mean, that's where my confidence for sure comes from. Like I'm it's funny because, and this, see, now you've turned this into an interview of me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I'm so sorry.
No,
and
it's
I have
fine.
one more question.
No, it's fine. I was talking to my cousin recently, and she's a little older than me, and she was saying when I was a kid, it was, or, she said, when you were a kid, Matt, you would walk in the room like the most confident kid in the room, and we all just were like, wow, Matt is so confident. And I don't remember it that way at all. I remember, and she would give specifics, and I'm like, I remember that day. I was apparently good at faking it.
Yeah.
But the more now it's real, but it's not an arrogance at all. Like it's just I've learned who I am. I've learned what I can do. I learned what I'm good at, what I'm not, and I'm open to the fact that I'm going to fail, and that's okay. Yeah. And I'm going to succeed, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? I'm going to learn more, and I'm going to grow, and 10 years from now, I'll be able to do things that I'm not able to do today because I'm going to learn more things.
What if you weren't faking it? What if it was just as natural as your breath?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, it's a part of who you were. And so to you didn't notice it because it was who you were.
I mean, I think there's some truth to that. But I also do, like, it's in some of the specifics examples she gave, I remember walking into that room feeling terrified. Yeah. Not confident at all. I didn't know that it was even being read as confidence. I felt like a faker. I felt like, like out of place. Yeah. Imposter syndrome, all of that. And I mean, do I still have moments of imposter syndrome? I think all of us do. You walk into a new situation but less than I did last year, less than I did 10 years ago. You know what I mean? The more I used to think any group that I was not a part of was judging me. Yeah. I mean, literally, like if there was a group of people standing over there and I don't know them yet, I'm not good enough to walk over because they've already probably got opinions about me, or I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like it gets so in my head, and we all write these crazy narratives in our head that get in the way of us being the people that we really can be. And that gets in the way of us being able to create the good that we can create in the world. I mean, I really think like I said, the best way to create good in the world is to be your true self and offer that to the world, to offer what you have. Like if we're all offering what we have it's going to be a better place. Yeah. The insecurities are the thing. Like every bad leader, everything comes back to insecurities. Yeah. Like it comes back to people who are insecure and not willing to deal with that. Yeah. Right.
And even as you're talking, I know that's what you felt in the moment, but I'm listening and I'm like, yeah, that's true confidence. It's like if you walk into the room and you're not terrified, the point is you walked into the room.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you were terrified, but you still did it.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's confidence.
maybe it's
you
two
know?
sides of the same coin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, okay. And that is true. There's always been something about, I will walk into the room. I'll try anything. Like, I'll do the thing. I'll go out on stage. I'll do like, as a kid, I was very willing to, like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh crap. What
did I do?
What did I say yes to? You know,
I
like,
was the same way.
oh my gosh. And then the insecurities come in. And now I'm still willing to say yes to a lot of things. But I also, I don't know, I'm not as, I don't know. It's
Like
like,
you just
let's
said
go.
you made it a part of your foundational living.
Yeah, it's like, let's go. Like, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun to try. It's fun to put yourself in a position where, hey, I might fail. I might fall flat on my face. Who cares?
It becomes addictive.
That's an experience I got.
Yeah.
And I've always known, I remember in 6th grade having the thought of, there are some people, I went, do you remember the movie Mr. Holland's Opus?
No.
Okay, so it's I won't get into the whole thing, but it's Richard Dreyfuss movie.
I didn't say that out loud.
It's a Richard Dreyfuss movie. He's a teacher his whole life, and he changes all these people's lives, and at the end of his career, and he has this big retirement thing, and all of the students he's affected show up, and very emotional kind of movie, whatever. And I remember seeing that as a kid and going, that's so cool for him. I do not want that. I don't want to do one thing my whole life and just be like, I did that really well. And not that there's anything wrong with that. If that's your thing, dude, go for it. I'm like, I want to get to the end of my life and be like, I tried this, I tried that, I tried this, I tried
all
of it.
Yeah. You're actually living.
I'm just, and it's ADD or whatever, but it's I get bored otherwise.
I think that you're a creative person and it pours throughout you. And going back to the teaching that you gave your kids, you're not supposed to suppress yourself.
Yeah, no.
You're not supposed to neglect yourself. And I think that you've really embodied that in the way that you live. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Sure, it's not the cookie cutter 9-to-5 job, but I don't think that you're a 9-to-5 person unless it's your own business.
Yeah.
And so you're living authentically and confidently the way that, you should.
Yeah. I mean, even over the last 10 years, as I've built the businesses that I have going on, I definitely held back in certain areas because some people, either people that worked for me or worked with me or whatever, would go, wait, you're going to do this and that? That doesn't make sense. And I'm like,
it doesn't have to.
Okay, I won't. And then finally I'm like, no, I'm doing and the minute I finally do it, things start happening.
Clicking. Yeah.
Things start taking off and I'm like, that was the answer.
Yeah.
That was the thing. And I've been held back because I was too worried about what other people, it wasn't the traditional, the kind of normal way of doing things.
Yeah.
But who cares?
What helped you break through? I'm sorry, I'm going to keep asking you. I can't help it.
So we're going to do another one of these because I'm going to have to ask you some questions at some point.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what helped you break through that? I don't even remember what I said because I started laughing so loud. So you might have been saved. You might have been saved.
The worrying about what other people think?
Yeah. So if you don't mind, I'll boomerang it back to me so that you don't get so offended.
How dare you?
I've experienced the same, right?
Yeah.
Especially with Kingdom Kismet in the beginning. It's a networking company, Matt. You meet people. I would tell people this and they'd be like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I would genuinely be confused, like, oh, maybe there's a problem with the way that I'm communicating. Maybe my mission is not clear. Maybe I need to refine it. And so I would keep changing it and refining it. And in some ways, that was really good because it helped me deepen the message. But after a point, it was just like, why am I listening to every single opinion that is given to me?
Yeah.
Because it is watering down the message that I'm trying to send. It's watering down my business. It's stunning it. And it's my fault because I'm allowing it. And then I had to take a moment to realize, okay, inherently at that time, I felt like there was a problem with me.
Yeah.
Because if I'm communicating this to so many people and they're all telling me, no, that's wrong, or no, you shouldn't be doing it that way, or that's not going to work, then maybe the problem's me, right? And so I had to get to a point where I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys right now.
Yeah.
I had to become so advanced in communicating what my vision was.
Yep.
And just communication in general with people, that enhanced my confidence to realize that you don't have to understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason why you don't have to understand is because, just like Matt here, I don't think like the majority of people think, unfortunately.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Critical thinking is at an all-time deficit right now.
But I had to have a radical acceptance where I'm saying, okay, it doesn't mean that I can't connect with people. It just means that sometimes my thoughts are not going to meet people where they're at.
True.
And sometimes they'll catch up. And sometimes, they might be ahead of me and I might catch up to them.
Yeah.
But no matter what, I can't fixate my life around the opinions of others. So I had to accept that I think differently. And so I started doing my little mantra where I'm like, I'm a free thinker. And all of the greatest, all of the greatest people are free thinkers. And you sound crazy at first, even if it's simple.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to make sense to everybody. It has to make sense to you. It has to make sense to your heart. And if I feel like I know myself well enough, and I feel this with other creatives as well, just talking with them, working with them, you're not silly, right?
I mean, I can be.
We could all be silly, but we have a general understanding of what works and what does not work.
Yeah.
And we know when to back out and when to, go back to not back out, but go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Take a step back, look at it from a higher perspective, to reposition yourself from a more advantageous place to go back and strike again. Sounds like I'm talking about war. I'm not. This is business.
Yeah, but I mean,
business is war. It's the war room. But I know that about myself. I know that I have the wits about me to say, hey, this is not working. I need to do something different.
Yeah.
Or I need to give this a little bit more time to work.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with other people's opinions. So being able to accept that I don't think the way that other people think all the time, and I am going to be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Majority of the time.
Yeah.
Just because of that, knowing there's a freeing with that.
There is. I think one of the things I'm always harping on is the idea of finding balance. And the one thing I would say I want to make sure people hear in this is for me there is a balance. There are times where I have ideas that are not good ideas.
Yeah.
There are times where I have an idea that I need to get people on board with if we're going to do it. And I need to figure out how to articulate it in a way that I can motivate and mobilize. But what I've found, I think the balance for me, and balance is messy because it's so much easier to be like, I'm this or I'm that. I'm on this end of the spectrum.
Black and white, yeah.
The middle is messy. That's where critical thinking happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's like every day is a little different. That's where, people like to plant their flag in the what because the what is firm. We do this. I do it this way instead of the why, which every day the what could look different because you're going, how do I accomplish this thing that's important to me? And it might look different tomorrow than it does today. And it's so much more work, but it's also so much more satisfying and so much more effective.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not listening to everybody, but it is listening to the right people. It is finding the right people in your life who understand me and will say, okay, I think you have something here. I don't get it. Can we keep working on how, help me understand? Can you say it a different way? Can we refine it? Because some of the things, I'll be banging my head thinking I found the best way to say this. They're not getting it. And then I'll go, oh, gosh, well, I guess I should give up. No, I'm going to try and say it a different way. And all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. And now I've gotten them on board, and finding those people who are willing to go on that journey with me and will go, I don't get everything you're saying or what, but I get you, and I want to work with you. That's that balance that I need. I need a Corey who works for me in my life, because Corey is much more grounded than I am. And so he can, or even my wife, we work together so well because she can do that in a way that doesn't pop my balloon, burst my bubble, but go like, okay, have you thought through this or this? What if we could accomplish that this way instead? It might be more. And it's just like, it's helping me get there instead of just going, what? No.
Yeah.
That's ew, and I feel like, okay, I have people on my team who are trying to help me instead of people who are trying to burst my balloon and rain on my parade and whatever other metaphors you want to come up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is that important. And that's where meeting somebody like you, we didn't get into the weeds on it when we met, but it was instantly like, well, you're not in finance. You're not going to be in finance. That's not going to be a thing for you.
And we were still friends after that. I was just like, all right.
Right. Totally. I'm like, that's not your thing. Sorry. But then I'm sure you're excellent at it. You have the skills, but that's not what you're called to do, long term.
It's just that I'm of service, and you got to put your feelings aside.
Yeah.
In finance.
Totally. And not that that's bad. You needed that at that time for whatever, but I instantly was like, that's not your long-term thing. That's not what you're going to be doing. That would be a waste of this whole other side of you. Right.
Yeah.
Which is the majority side of you, I think. You have the intellect to be able to do those things and stuff. I can't do finance. I can't do numbers. I'm not a numbers guy, but math is hard. I took math 102 in college.
Yeah.
And my professor made fun of me during a test one time because he saw me counting on my fingers.
No. By the way, I know you guys cannot see this, but Matt is counting on his fingers right now still. So it hasn't left.
It's always. I got a B- in intro to mathematics. Anyway, so my required GE. But no, I mean, it's finding that right group of people that can provide that balance. And I felt that, whether that's my team here, that's my, the person I'm married, or people like you or Curtis, people that I've met along the way. Curtis is going to be on the podcast soon as well. I think we're recording next week, but he's a mutual friend of ours, and we've met up a couple times, the three of us, because we all kind of instantly were able to do that for each other. I'm like, I get you, Curtis. I get you, Shamara. You get me, you get hit, and we can provide that support and feedback and encouragement. And it's funny because that was never a thing we said. It was not like a group we started. We're not like, hey, we should be a support group for each other. We just became friends and naturally sort of did that because we saw that in each other. I go, with Curtis, I was like, what you're calling yourself and what you do, is not, we've got to find a better way to explain this, because what you do is so much cooler than that. And so I've helped him with that a little bit, but
he told me too. He was so great. He was like, he's right. And the funny thing about Curtis is he's going to be one of my clients for finance. And we had a meeting, and I remember my meeting was with my VP. And then Curtis was like, you're supposed to be doing Kingdom Kismet, Shamara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's like, this could be great finances, but he's like, your heart is in Kingdom Kismet. I don't hear your heart in finances because I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah.
I'm not the moment that you want me to sell, I shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. We have gone way over our normal time.
We haven't even talked about what I wanted to talk about.
We haven't?
But there is something that we have been talking about so much, and I love that we did it naturally.
Yes.
And I know that you hate it, the fact that you were talking more than me.
Yes.
But I loved it because throughout this whole entire conversation, before we even did the podcast, I set the intention that whatever needed to come out would come out.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it has been. But this whole entire podcast has been about your intuition.
Yeah.
and how you learn to trust yourself. And that's what I'm teaching people how to do now. So I wanted to open the conversation up to that more so that people don't just think of it as like, oh, that's a spiritual thing or that's a woo thing.
Right.
No, it's a natural part of life. It's
Yeah.
a natural part of creativity. It's a natural part of understanding yourself. And the moment that you learn to harness that gift, your life just goes into flow. You guys can listen back to this podcast as much as you want. There has been several times when Matt has said, I just knew I needed to go through this door, and then more doors just open. Or the moment that I started to do this, and everything were little inklings. Even when he was connecting other people to each other, I didn't know why. I just did it. And it's being able to tap into the unknown of like, I don't have a plan for this. I don't know where it's going to leave me, but in my body, it feels right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And knowing what that feels like for you individually can help progress your life drastically. Because then you know, how does it feel when I'm sitting with Matt right now?
Yeah.
You know, is this a right connection for me? Is it supportive? Whether he's telling me things I don't want to hear, which is, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
or if it's, you know, when he's telling me the things that are really supportive of my journey. I know that I can count on you to be honest because you're going by your gut, by what you feel called to do and not what you think I want to hear.
Well, I come to realize that my gut feeling, my instinct, my intuition that's informed by everything that's within you.
It's wisdom.
All of your experience, all of the knowledge, all of the everything. And you may not be able to explain it in the moment. It may come across as a gut feeling, but it's learning to trust that because there's more behind that than just, you know, it's not the same as I'm hungry. You know what I mean? It's like, it's everything in you leading you somewhere before you even understand necessarily why, but there is intention. There is reason. And you may not find it out till later, but you know, when I give that kind of perspective or feedback, that's to me the best way I can support you and your path and your career and your, you know, whatever it is like, you know, I had a call with a friend this morning who has a business and we did some things together and I was like, hey, here's a couple things you need to work on.
Yeah.
Because I want her to succeed.
Yeah.
Like these are going to get in the way of you getting that success. I'm not saying this to be critical. I'm saying this because it'll make you better.
Yeah.
And she thanked me, you know, for it. And I like the same thing. Now, there's that ego bit in there. Of course, you're always a little bristled by it, but like, you know, but like I welcome it because it makes me better. It makes me grow. And you know, I know there's always more to learn and always more to grow.
I don't think that we're supposed to suppress our ego. I think that it's good to acknowledge it and then choose not to act fully within it. Yeah. So saying, hey, you know, that really rubbed me in the right way.
Yeah,
I love that compliment. Give me more compliments.
Yeah.
But not like going up to people saying, why didn't you compliment me?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. All right. Last question for you. The one I always end with. What brings you the most joy in your jobs and in the things that you're doing?
Ooh, that's a good question. What brings me the most joy? Because like you, I do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I think it's connection. Yeah. That's purely what it is. It's being able to connect and understand people on a deeper level, to be able to see all sides of them and love them anyways.
Yep. Yeah. I can see that.
And then that's really what it is. It's connection, knowing that I had the opportunity to know you.
Yeah. I love it.
That's it. Connection.
Where can people connect with you? Where? Online, social media, you got a website? What's your deal? What's the deal? Where do they go?
You haven't told anybody anything yet. My website is shamaranoriega.com. I am going to be launching a podcast called Alchemy Minded, where we're going to be talking about intuition and how different entrepreneurs, creatives are able to tap into the unknown or their faith to pursue and accomplish their dreams and what they want, just like what you're doing, Matt. So
Awesome.
you'll be one of my first guests. Just
Ooh, fun.
no pressure. I'll just ask you more questions than what I asked you today.
I'm going to turn it around on you.
Yeah.
That'll be my chance to get the questions in.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Shamara, thanks for coming up and spending this time. This has been really fun.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. I feel so much joy right now being on your podcast. And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah. All right. See you next time. Well, not see you. Hear you. Well, I don't hear you. You hear, anyway, whatever.
Catch us at karaoke.
Bye.
Creating Good with Matt Barnes is recorded at Rogue Collective in beautiful Newport Beach, California. It's hosted and executive produced by me, Matt Barnes. Post-production is by our amazing friends over at Fame, the B2B podcast agency. Writing is by Matt Barnes and Taylor Bolanos from Rogue Creatives. Creative direction and design is overseen by Corey Hill of Rogue Creatives. Theme music is composed and performed by Jared Atherton of Chapters. Huge thanks to our amazing guests for joining us this episode, and thank you to all of you incredible listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, and I would imagine you did if you're still listening, so don't forget to help us spread some good by giving us a good review. Preferably like 5 stars, lots of really nice words. It's very helpful. Also, tell your friends and subscribe so we can come straight into your potholes each and every time we have a new episode. Take the Creating Good pledge on our website at creatinggood.co. We'll catch you next time. This has been a Rogue Creatives production.